Hi, everyone. We have author Chakel Ayers Bennett here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
I am 35 years old. I will actually be 36 next month. Yes, March 31st. I will be 36.
You're Aries?
Yes, I am.
This is why. This is why. I'm sorry.
Yes, I am Aries. I have three children, three daughters, actually. Their ages are 8, 7, and 5. Um, Published my first book, which is crazy because I was not expecting this. Published my first book in May of last year, right in the middle of the pandemic. Let's see, I am a graduate of Colorado Technical University, where I achieved my bachelor's degree in healthcare management and then returned and received my MBA with concentration in healthcare management.
Okay, congratulations.
Oh, and I am originally from Newark, New Jersey, but I currently reside in Augusta, Georgia.
Okay. Now tell us about your book.
Okay, so the book, it is a fiction book based on a few, I will say it that way, a few true events. And so it pretty much came to me literally out of nowhere. I was not expecting it. But it's basically about a girl who talks about different chain of events that occurred in her life. And so the first chain of event was her being violated by a family friend. And then that pretty much kind of turned into other things are led her into doing other things. And then she actually finds a guy that she's really, really into. And so he's like the first person that she really opened up to about the situation. But because she was battling that situation and not realizing that she was actually damaging her relationship with him, it caused them to split. But then that chain of event, when she lost that very special person in her life, then she found herself back, in that whirlwind, messing around with guys that she really shouldn't have been dealing with. She dealt with verbal abuse, infidelity in relationships. And so it's literally like how she goes through these events in her life. But at the end, she does overcome everything. So
okay. And show us the cover.
I don't know if you can see that. It's like
I love it. Is purple your favorite color?
So it's yes and no. I'm like a blue and purple type of person, but it was just something about purple that just like I needed the cover to be that color. I don't know. But yeah.
And how did you come up with the title?
In the bathroom.
Really?
I swear it was I just moved to Georgia. So when we moved to Georgia, I was trying to find a place in Augusta and I lost all of our belongings on the highway. And so when we moved in here, like you lose everything. And so you're like going through like this mental, like you're just not right, So one day I was in the bathroom. I got tired of feeling down and depressed and I decided to do my hair, put some makeup on or something like that. And no lie, I was wearing a purple towel. I'll never forget. I hopped out the shower. I was wearing a purple towel and I took a picture of myself. And that's when it came. It was like the caption on the picture was actually "The Truth and Lie of a Broken Heart."
Wow.
And when I stared at the picture, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to write a book. And it literally came just like that. And that's how it started.
That's great. And are you self-published?
I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And how was that journey for you?
Very stressful. I think I became a wino. It was so stressful only because I like at the time I didn't really consider myself to be a writer or an author. It was just one of those things like, oh my God, I'm gonna write a book. But I didn't think it was actually gonna really come to this point. I didn't have anybody around me that wrote a book. So it was really me doing my own research, doing my own footwork. And then once I started talking about it a little bit more is when I started being introduced to people that's like, hey, I did this, and I would get little hints and tips as to how to do certain things, but I didn't really have anybody like hold my hand and say, hey, this is what you need, this is how it goes, and things like that. So what I did, honestly, I started researching publishing companies. And I'm looking at the publishing companies and I'm literally going down a list of everything that they offer and how much. And I took each of those topics and I researched them.
Okay.
And that's how I knew, the steps to take. And then I went through, and certain things I felt I needed, I did. And then there were other things that was like, I felt like I didn't need, so I didn't do. So I pretty much just like, I like heart the whole process along the way.
That's great. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
And tell everybody where they can purchase your book.
And so the book is available on Amazon, soon to be available on Apple and Barnes and Nobles.
Okay. And do you plan on working on another one?
Yeah, I do. The way the book ends is definitely required.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, you better start writing now then, because when I read it, I'm gonna hit you like, hello.
Yes, it's definitely required because the way the book ends is like she's kind of feeling herself reverting backwards a little bit after she overcame so much, and now it's like, wait a minute, what's happening? And so yeah, a lot of people that read the book has told me, I hope you plan on doing the second one.
Okay. And how long did it take you to finish writing it?
I'm gonna say 2 years.
Okay.
For it to be, it's a small book. It's only 7 chapters, but it took a long time because at first, when I first started doing it, I was just living off of the hype, like off of just momentum. And then once that died, I was just like writing here and there. But what really struck me to do it, is I was talking to my manager and I was telling her about the book. And it was something so small. She said was, maybe you should start setting a deadline. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. And when she said that, it was like something just clicked. And so I started setting deadlines. I'm like, okay, I want my manuscript done by this time. I want this done by this time, my cover, my editing. I just started putting everything on a time schedule. And that's how it happened. But prior to her telling me that, I went to a church service and I went to go with my mom, and the pastor that was there, he looked at my mom and he's like, do you mind if I pray for your daughter? And she was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And at this time, nobody knew about the book. No one, except for my kid's father. And he looked at me and he goes, God said, go ahead and write the book. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. And he's like, yeah, God said, go ahead and write the book. And that from that day, I'm like, I know for a fact, no one knew about this. So when he spoke that into me, that's when things really just started picking up.
Nice. And did you experience any writer's block?
Yes, terrible. But it wasn't long. Like at one point, like I almost found myself like not even being able to go to sleep until I wrote something. Like I didn't care if it was a line, something. Like I had to write something. But yeah, I definitely did. And I actually went back and rewrote my book like 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell everybody your social media handles.
So I am on Facebook under, my personal is Chakel Ayers Bennett. My business page is Des Chaperone LLC, which also has the link and information for my book in there as well. Twitter under Chakel B, and Instagram, excuse me, under Des Chaperone LLC. And again, my links and book information is all listed in there.
Okay. And how do you think being a writer has helped you as a person?
Again, I think I became a wino. So honestly, discipline. It really and even though I had discipline because I went to school and completed my degrees and things like that, but this right here is it's another level of discipline. So it taught me discipline. It also taught me like how to, like just really structure my time. I'm sorry, it's the dog. I knew my daughter was gonna do that. How to structure the time, and just like really set deadlines and time blocks and just get things in order and be more organized.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your book?
Yeah, go purchase it.
Of course.
It is. It's a small book. And I stopped at the number 7. Like I have 7 chapters and I stopped at 7 because 7 represents the number of completion. And so when I wrote the book, it was more like the way it ended, like she was ending, a certain phase of her life before she transitioned into another part of her life. And so that's why I stopped at number 7. So it was definitely significant.
Well, I can't wait to read it. And being that it's small, I'm gonna hit you in like 2 days and be like, I loved it.
You might hit me in an hour. And be
Listen, like, start writing. I need part 2.
Right. It'll probably be an hour.
And are you a book reader as well?
I am. So when I was seeing you guys reading the what is it? The Coldest Winter Ever, that Sister Soldier was actually one of the first authors that I started reading. Yes. And then I got into like Zane and like all those other authors.
Yes.
So yeah, like those authors like just really know how to I guess you could say like grab their audience attention.
Definitely.
So yeah.
At a young age too.
Very young.
No
I mean, I remember being in high school and it's like 1, 2 in the morning and I'm supposed to be in bed and me and my sister like this.
Mm-hmm.
We like, I mean, you just couldn't put it down. It was just that intriguing. It was like, yeah. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. One, I love your shirt. I'm not going to skip over the shirt. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Yes, I really like
it. Yes. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. All right, everyone. That was author Chakel Ayers Bennett telling us about her book. Make sure you go out and purchase a copy. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos below.